Hey guys, it's your girl Nogg here, and today's video is my debt-free journey part 1. So if you guys are interested in that, stay tuned and keep watching. Thank you to everyone who has subscribed to my channel and continuing to support me. And if you guys are wondering what I did to pay off almost $32,961.85 in 1 year during COVID and being a single parent, stay tuned and keep watching, and I will definitely put timestamps so you guys are aware of what I did and just kind of a little bit of a breakdown on this whole process and kind of like what happened. And yeah, so I'm gonna have to backtrack a little bit on how I got into this really bad debt situation. So back in 2016, 2017, around that time frame, I was doing okay. I was just being like everyone, like Dave Ramsey says, normal. And I had credit card debt and I had student loan debt. So debt-free part 1 was my credit cards, personal loans, my car, my braces, things like that. So that's debt-free part 1, to clarify with you. Debt-free journey part 2 is my student loans, and that will be in another video, and how I got more inspired during COVID with watching Dave Ramsey and just other people that had paid off their debt. So I got into this really bad debt situation back around that time from 2016 to 2019. I was just paying off minimum payments and just kind of being not as smart as I should have been. This is my second time getting into pretty bad debt. So the first time when I got into debt, it wasn't as bad. I pulled out 2 personal loans, which I do not advise anyone to do, but I pulled out 2 personal loans to pay off. I had about 5 credit cards at the time. So I had Upstart, which is a personal loan company, and Lending Club. So I don't remember which one, but about one of them was $5,000 and the other one was $7,000. So right there, I was gonna try to consolidate and kind of get rid of the debt and the interest, and it just did not work at the time. So unfortunately, with having the 2 personal loans, thinking that I was gonna be okay, life kind of happened, and unfortunately in 2019 I switched jobs to be a little bit closer to home, but unfortunately that job position wasn't accommodating with all of my other personal side hustles. So I was working at a car dealership at the time, and unfortunately they were not paying me very well, and they were very strict on me being at work and not taking time off, and it was just unfortunate that I couldn't really do my side job. I used to work with Insomniac, which is the radio company, like the big events, and I used to do merch for them. And so it was unfortunate because in 2019 I really didn't work any events, so I couldn't make that extra money to kind of help out or just be afloat, and so I kind of just had to leave. And also unfortunately I had to pull out money out of my credit cards to just kind of like survive. And I mainly want to make this video just to help anyone understand, like, things happen. Like, I didn't think at all I would have had to pull out money and get in bad debt, and it was already like tough enough, you know, being a single parent and barely making not even minimum wage, and just it was a mess. So I want people to realize things happen, but definitely you can also fix your situation. So like I was saying, in 2019 is when I got into a lot of bad credit card debt, and I just felt like I was drowning. And then of course I took a job position that was going to be closer to home, and thinking that I was going to make decent money and being really close by, that wasn't working either. So I don't know how anyone survives off minimum wage, and also me being in California, like, it is just, I don't even know. And I'm very blessed to say that I live, which is me, my son, and our dog, in a 2-bedroom house in California, trying to make it. And definitely I'm trying to take advantage of that for the time being, after kind of like my wake-up call during COVID. So I was working at this new job the end of December of 2019 to about March of 2020, and of course that's when COVID hit. I'm very blessed my job was paying us during the time of COVID to basically stay at home. And unfortunately, until about May of 2020 is when they basically laid me off, and I got unemployment during that time. And after this, I will explain the breakdown of kind of the incomes I got and how I kind of really got strict on everything. So that'll be in a little bit. So backtracking, in May of 2020, they basically laid me off, and I got employment for about a month until I finally went back around July for a position that was very temporary, and it was a temporary position due to COVID. Got very blessed because they were paying me very well. And now, since the time of COVID and all this mumbo jumbo going on, I am going to be probably laid off soon. Hopefully I'll be able to transfer. If not, we'll kind of figure that out when it comes. So yeah, that's kind of like how I got into the debt. Unfortunately, with life happening, not making enough, just it happens. So I hope everyone's aware that things kind of happen, and you know, I'm very blessed that somehow during COVID and everything that I was able to pay off this debt in like less than a year, and got really strict on that. So I have a huge thanks to Mr. Dave Ramsey, because obviously during COVID there was not much to do, and obviously things weren't as open, and I happened to stumble upon his YouTube channel. And so I got like really intense part one with just, okay, this money's going here, this money's going here, writing everything down. I do struggle with food budget, so that's something else that we can talk about later, but I definitely have Dave Ramsey snowball effect to thank for this whole journey, because I really just did not know how I was gonna pay any of this off. I was just drowning so hard that even I was like, okay, it's COVID. Okay, I'm still getting not as much as if I was working. Thankfully I'm not working and I'm getting paid, but I wasn't collecting unemployment because I did not feel it was right for me to get a paycheck from my job and get unemployment at the same time. So, you know, no judgments to anyone that did that, but for myself and my morals and just my belief in karma, like I just did not do that. So yeah, I did not have all these random streams of that much extra money, and if I did, I of course would have paid off debt or put money aside, just because it's so much uncertainties right now that it is scary, but I just couldn't do that. Alrighty guys, so let's get to the fun stuff. I did buy this dotted journal on Amazon a while ago, and the front's kind of messy, so bear with me. I wrote all my debts, so like some stuff simple like that, like this was my Best Buy credit card when I paid. I try to stay organized. Like there's times I love bullet journaling and like getting all fancy smanchy, but there's some points that I didn't even check, and I feel like definitely writing down and manifesting stuff works, because there's some stuff that I wrote that I didn't even realize I wrote. It was just like an estimate of like when I want to get certain things paid off. So like this is like an example, like my Barclays credit card. This was the last thing I wanted to pay off in March of 2021, and you know that credit card limit was over $10,000. So I paid that off pretty quickly, and I kind of set and numbered everything of what credit card I was going to pay off for that month or 2 to 3 months and things like that. So I'm going to break down what I paid. So please remember this was March and my cheat sheet. So March of 2020 is what I wrote exactly down of every credit card or anything that was that set amount at that time. So an example, my highest credit card was $10,500, but of that day of March 2020 when I wrote everything down, it was my Barclays credit card, and it was $9,921.15. And so I'm just gonna name everything off for you guys. So that was Barclays. My Best Buy credit card was $2,436.44. Capital One was only $100. Chase, $800. My ortho payments, I was at $580. Target, $2,973.49. IKEA, $2,622. PayPal, $2,214.70. CarMax, $5,948.93. Lending Club, $3,201.25. Upstart, $1,939.86. And obviously, and my card tag I added because that was the year that it was due. It was $224. Okay. So yes, guys, that was a big list. And so if you are not familiar with the Dave Ramsey debt snowball, I will link something below to kind of help you guys out. But basically, it is you list your debt from smallest to largest, you tackle one of them, and you make extra payment to that. And from the extra payment and the minimum payment that you would do for the first one, you would just roll it over like a snowball to tackle it down. I know most people are like, well, you're supposed to do the highest interest or this and that. But you know what? I felt like this worked for me because I had to see results. I was just like, I can't do highest interest. My highest card and my highest payment was my Barclay card, and it was, like I said, $9,900 to $21.15. And that interest was like 26% or whatever it was. So that was the card I did pull out money because of, like I said, my situation of just drowning, and that was the only card that I was able to pull out money from. Thank God, because you know that was most important to have a roof over my head and everything. But yeah, if you guys aren't familiar with the debt snowball, that is a method that I use to help me kind of go along with this journey. So this income stream I got during March 2020 to March of 2021, a few months ago, was I did get the stimulus check. Stimulus check. I did get all three. I got the $1,200, which was the first one, I believe. The $2,800, I think that was the last one though, and then the $1,700. So I did get all three, and also, you know, I was able to get the money from my son. So that is one stream I did have, thankfully. I also got a $3,000 refund because I did pull out of getting my master's degree due to me being unsure of COVID, watching Dave Ramsey, and being like, why am I pulling student loans out during this pandemic, and just not sure if my education would even matter at the time, and just so much uncertainty. So I did get a $3,000 refund, and I did use that for my $1,000 emergency, and also just putting that money towards debt. Also, I was getting my my checks from work, and that was about maybe $2,000 a month, if that. And so you guys can kind of calculate how much I was barely making on minimum wage for my job. But being at home during COVID definitely helped, and not having to spend money on gas and or just going out was the blessing of that. And then thankfully, when I got hired back on in July, I was making roughly $45 to $50K a year. So you guys can do the math on that. I don't want to disclose fully everything of my income because it is changing now. And then also, I do get child support. I'm going to put that in there. I first was debating if I should or shouldn't, but you know what, like from what Dave Ramsey says, and also just kind of other incomes, like this is like the debt is, some of it's more likely from things I got from my son as well, you know, and just trying to provide and just be there. So I get about $500 a month for child support, and you know, either I'm putting that money aside for my son or getting him his stuff, and whatever income, other extra income is just what I will put towards him or things that we need around the house, all that good stuff. But some of it I did pay off debt with it, I'm not gonna lie, and or paid my rent or whatever the case could be. So I'm not ashamed of it because I barely got child support within the last 2 years from my son's dad, and that will be another story. But that is the income I will include because I probably did and didn't. But just to give you an idea on the income stream, just so you guys are aware of what I did, and also just kind of got more serious about the situation. So yeah, I have my job, I had the child support, stimulus check, school money, and then also the fifth income for about a month. I got 3 unemployment checks, or whatever you want to call it, during the extra 600. So I got 3 of that. So I got $1,700 for 3 times until I stopped it before I started working my new position in July. So that can give you a rough idea and estimate on this mainstream income I had in 2020 to 2021. So how did I stay motivated? I believe watching a lot of the Dave Ramsey's guests that calls in, and also podcasts. I think that's what helped me be more okay about my situation. So debt free part 2 is my student loan, and unfortunately I went to the Art Institute of Inland Empire, and if you guys know that school, it is shut down and had a lot of issues. So if you guys are dealing with that, please leave a comment below. I've been hearing different things about that since the school has closed down, and I've heard even if you got your degree from there and the school is shut down, they're supposed to basically forgive your loans. So I don't know. Please leave a comment below if you did go to any art institute or know anything about that. But me having over 108K of student loans hurts. I wish I got more guidance back then to really like get gazelle intense and just pay this loan off, you know. And even if it would have taken 5 years to pay it off, I'm gonna be 30 pretty soon, and I would have been in a better situation financially. And you know, I feel like I'm very blessed to even get this part 1 journey debt free done. So you know, I think it's just the timing in life, and I feel very blessed that now I know what to do or how to kind of handle these student loans. So if you guys do need encouragement or you guys have advice, please let me know, because I know student loans are kind of, and like I'm gonna be 100%, like I feel embarrassed at times where I'm not using my degree. And you know, back in 2018-19 is when I went for my master's in business and pulled out loans because I felt like that would maybe better my shot. And before watching Dave Ramsey and kind of more stuff, I was just like, you know, like let me just go back to school. Like school's there, you know, like I don't know. And I've been very lucky that when I am in school and I've taken these breaks that I get back into the flow of things. So I feel like also with the money I was receiving with the student loans was helping with my financial situation at home. So do I regret it? No. Do I wish I had more guidance? Yes, of course. Do I feel like a lot of people where they feel embarrassed or maybe ashamed that they have all these student loans and not using the degree? Yes. But you know what, guys, like it's unfortunate that these school lenders and everything basically prey on us and give us all this money for school, but yet, you know, it's hard to get a mortgage for a house, or it's hard to get other loans for other things, but yet for school they're so quick to give you it easy 10, 20, 30, even more than that on school, and that's not even guaranteed if you even graduate or anything like that. So that's where I'm at. I definitely watch and listen Borrowed Future, and I will link that podcast below, because that helped me be more okay with my situation with the student loans. So I hope that helps you guys, and definitely debt free journey part 2 is my student loan. So I'm just trying to figure out a way how I will document it for you guys and kind of help you stay motivated with me, because even right now, me losing my job soon, I'm like, how am I going to do this, you know? But if I did this journey part 1 while losing my job and being laid off, when there's a will, there's a way, and I know there will be a way. So yeah. So the ordered, I paid my everything off. I'm just gonna, like I said, I did the debt snowball. So I paid my cap auto one first, which was $100. I paid my car tag, which was $224. I paid my ortho, which was $580. The fourth thing I paid was my Chase, which was $800. I paid my Upstart, which was $1939.89, and then I paid PayPal, which was $2,214.70, and then I paid IKEA, which was $2,622. I paid my Target credit card, which was $2,973.49, and then from Target I paid Lending Club, which was $3,201.25. And then this is the only thing that I did differently, just because my Barclays credit card was a very high interest and my CarMax car interest was very low. So I could have easily paid the $5,948.93 first before the $9,000 for my Barkley. But since I really wanted this Barkley interest to just go away, and how much I also did take, also with pulling out money from a credit card, they charge you interest on top of that interest. So I wanted that just to finally be out of my hair. So I paid Barkley off first, which was the $9,921.15. And then last but not least, I paid my car payment of $5,948.93. So yes, somehow I wrote in my little journal book dates and really try to tackle each credit card either by 1 month, by 2 months, doing what's reasonable. And I feel like that's where people forget and kind of not necessarily don't do, but I feel like people do try to overdo just to get rid of the payments. And you have to do what's reasonable with your income, also with just other things you do have to budget. And that's my one advice to anybody that is trying to get out of debt, is do what's reasonable. So like, let's say if your credit card is at $1,000 and you're making roughly $1,200 every 2 weeks, and you feel like your minimum payments between $25 to $100, I would do honestly $500 each check until it's done, or $250 every 2 weeks for 2 months, or $500 every 2 checks. Like, you have to do what makes more sense so you're not in more debt because you're paying off debt. So yeah, I think that's my best advice for anyone that is getting out of debt. And yeah, so guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope I kind of tackled everything that I wanted to tell you guys on my debt-free journey part 1. So I'm very excited to kind of help you guys and inform you guys on this tough time during COVID, and also, like I said, like being a single parent and COVID, a mixture of uncertainty. Am I really going to pay off debt during this time? Where am I getting this money? So definitely you guys have my support in whatever journey you guys have for your financial freedom. But I hope to talk to you guys more about that, and hopefully just help inspire you guys. So thank you guys for watching again, and I'll catch you at the next one. Bye guys.